Minasan konnichiwa. My name is Robert Mitchell, and I am currently working as a physician liaison and trainer at a healthcare organization in the San Francisco Bay Area. I've had a number of other positions over the course of my career, including a job as a business analyst at an online clothing retailer that had business operations and a business office in Japan. And while I was working at that company, I had the opportunity to use my Japanese language skills on an almost daily basis. Studying Japanese language and culture has opened doors for me professionally in ways both directly and indirectly. For example, in the case of my job as a business analyst, I was able to get that job because I had listed on my LinkedIn profile that I spoke Japanese. So while the recruiter was looking for potential candidates to fill that position, they saw that I had the requisite skills and experience for the position, but that I also spoke the Japanese language. And that was one of the optional requirements for the job, but because I had that ability, I was able to edge out some of the other candidates for that position and land the job. So while I was working at that company, I was working directly with my colleagues in the Japanese business office. I was writing and reading emails in Japanese every day, participating in some conference calls in Japanese, and I was also translating documents from Japanese to English and vice versa, and participating in negotiations with other firms who were looking to do business with our company directly. So I was able to get some very valuable business experience with regards to contract negotiations and really operating across different cultural lines. One of the most valuable things that I felt I was able to do at the company was serve as a cultural liaison. So I was able to connect people in the American business office with the Japanese business counterparts, where they were previously hesitant to interact with one another for fear of a cultural or language barrier. So I was able to make those connections and sort of break down those barriers, both perceived and real, to help connect people and drive business operations forward. So that was a very fulfilling and exciting experience to be able to do that at that position. Some of the indirect ways Japanese language has enriched my life is with the skills that I honed in trying to learn about another culture. So, for example, in healthcare, I've had to navigate an entirely different culture than the one I expect. I'm not a clinical person. I don't have a background in medicine. I don't even really have a background in IT. And I'm having to operate within what I consider to be kind of a different culture. In the American medicine or American medical field is very distinctly a subculture in the US, and they have sort of different rules and different procedures and ways of operating that it takes some time to understand. And I think my studying the Japanese language and culture helped equip me to operate in that space. And it also helps that learning some of the complicated medical terminology I didn't previously have exposure to has been easier because I previously studied a foreign language in depth in Japanese. And so I'm able to take that information, synthesize it, and then help facilitate communications between the information staff and then clinicians, kind of in the same way that I was helping individuals in the Japanese business office and the American business office, because I'm able to help bridge that cultural gap, so to speak. I use Japanese in my personal life as well, in that I study a traditional Japanese martial art. And so when the instructors come to visit from overseas, I'm often serving as a translator on the fly, or helping those individuals navigate their time in the US. And so it's very fulfilling to be able to use my Japanese language skills on a personal level as well. And I've made some excellent friendships and built some excellent relationships working in that space. The advice that I would have for you as someone who is looking to study Japanese is that this is probably the best time in history to be doing so. There's so much media available. There's so many incredible technological tools and supports available to you in apps and dictionaries and online dictionaries and plugins for your browser that help you read newspaper sites. So expose yourself to as much Japanese language as possible. And I expect that you'll find that there are many opportunities you didn't anticipate that present themselves to you in the coming months.